like and share button, people. Make sure you are subscribed to the Football Terrace as well. Very much looking forward to your comments coming in below. It feels like a lot of turmoil at Man United right now. For some people, this was what was expected with new owners, new structures, new boards, new managers, trying to fix financially nearly 20 years of malpractice and 11 years of catastrophic management of the football club from top to bottom, from boardroom to pitch. For others, there is a sense of frustration, anger, annoyance, confusion, and leading to lots of comments such as, I'm getting fed up with INEOS, this is embarrassing for the club is falling, Ratcliffe and his disgusting crew will take the club to dark places, INEOS are looking disgusting as of recent. A lot of United fans angry, disgusted, frustrated, annoyed at a number of the decisions that INEOS are making, both on the footballing front and the commercial front. And I wanted to delve into it. I want to get your opinion on this, because I'm as frustrated as the next Man United fan that we find ourselves 13th in the league, that we have wasted billions and billions of pounds over the past decade trying to be successful, having accountants run the football club, that have led us into this. I'm a little frustrated at this. But what I'm more frustrated at is the fact that some Man United fans, I feel like, have really shown their bums. They've really shown their bums and their lack of understanding of, one, what the real problems at the club were in the first place and why we were in this mess. So many years debating, sell this player, buy this individual, sack this manager, hire this guy. And for 11 years, I've just been beating my head against the brick wall, stating that is not our key problem. There are so many other issues that have led to United's current mire. And to hear United fans say that INEOS are going to take us into a dark place, bruv, we're in it. We were in it before they arrived. We've been in that dark place. It's just been getting almost exponentially worse every couple of years. And the analogy I gave yesterday, and I'll stand by this before we go into the intricate detail, is this. If you're an individual that spends 10 years on the couch, eating the wrong foods, drinking the wrong drinks, no exercise, and you put a lot of weight on, I tell you what one of the most painful experiences you're ever going to go through is that first 3 months of eating correctly. Those first 3 months of going back to the gym, getting off the sofa. Your anxiety is going to spike. Your body is going to ache. It is going to be clucking for the sugary, fatty, nasty foods that you were eating for that long-term period of putting on all that weight. You are going to feel worse than you did being that couch potato. But if you don't push through that pain, if you don't make sacrifices in that moment, you are never going to come out the other side feeling better, stronger, healthier. It's never going to happen. And that is where Man United are. So are INEOS a disgrace? Look, first of all, I just want to get your opinion on that. Before I give you mine, leave that in the comment section below. Before we go any further, I want to talk to you about our new community at the Football Terrace. You will know that my subscribers, everyone who super chats, and hugely my members mean the absolute world to me. You've helped bring the terrace along. You've allowed me to turn this into my job. I know you guys love the content, and we've been able to grow and employ people and make more content. And we really want to go to that next level. YouTube really hinders you in this space. It does. It takes a huge percentage of the membership fees that you pay, which stops us from being able to grow. And it's very limiting. So what we are doing is we will be keeping an element of the YouTube membership. We're going to be lowering it down at the end of this month to 99p. So you keep your badges and you keep your icons, because we're going to go back to doing some member-only streams and things like that. But what we're also introducing is School, which is the new platform for our members. And there's so much more for you to do there, experience there, and interact with us on. You can scan that QR code right there on the screen to go and check it out right now. But let's take a little look at what it looks like. And you can see here on the homepage, we've only just launched. Obviously, you've got the welcome that's from me. You've got different members here posting what's going on. But you see along this tab here, we have football fan threads that everybody can post on. There's match reviews, as you can see from yesterday. There's match previews. We're going to be putting football quizzes up, and there'll be more and more added to this each and every single day. You can see there's the calendar, and we've got our first official watch party that we're doing. As you can see, that's all going to be done through this platform. You have the leadership board, which I'm excited about as well. This tells you the levels that you can get to, how interactive you are, and the points you can build up, but also our members that are currently using it, how interactive they are, how many of the quizzes, how many of the watch parties, how many comments they're leaving. It creates a leaderboard to show our most active users as well. The really exciting bit is also going to be the classroom. This hasn't launched yet. This is where we're going to be putting together different types of courses for our members as well. So you can click that QR code that's on the big screen now or on the other page. Go and check it out. It's a little welcome message from me. It breaks down all the different activities that we're getting, and the best part is it's cheaper than the Legends and Superfan memberships on YouTube. So it is cheaper for you each month than what the members are currently paying as well. So go and check it out now, people. And I'm really excited about the future of the Terrace and our new members platform. Now, look, I want to delve into this in a bit more detail. And these are some of the reports that are coming out. Sir Jim was also unhappy with Ashworth's assessment of players to keep and sell. He wants them to be hard on getting players out the door as quickly as possible. Now, I can't imagine anybody having a problem with that. The issue is there isn't until it's a player that a certain group of Man United fans doesn't want to see leave, like Rashford. Now, there's a percentage that are going mental to a point where I saw this tweet, and I'll put this tweet up on the screen. That wasn't the one. This is the one here. It said that Sir Alex Ferguson spent 26 years of his life dedicated to cultivating a unique culture that would make sure every single youth player that went through the academy would be special. Disregarding homegrown players like Rashford and McTominay is a massive disservice. And this type of nonsense has to stop. There's 3 players in the lifespan of Fergie at United who were special and spent their whole careers at the club. And that was Giggs, Scholes, and Gary Neville. That's it. Every other academy player was either sold before they made an appearance, had a bit part role before being sold, had an integral part like a Beckham or a Butt before they were sold, or never even made it anywhere near professional contracts. The idea that getting rid of a Rashford or a McTominay disrespects Sir Alex is nothing other than a lie. And this is coupled with a story that's come out that says Sir Jim wants to be a bit more ruthless with the academy in the right way, to sell academy products if they are not going to make it in the first team by including buyback and sell-on clauses. And again, this is correct. Man United don't cash in on the hype around their young players soon enough if they know they're not going to integrate him into the first team. Look at Harry Amas. I quite like him. I'd like to see him make it in the Man United team. What I don't want is him 23 years old and us still going, oh, maybe he's going to get a chance soon, because by then you can't sell him. If the club thinks, do you know what, we're never going to integrate him, or he isn't part of our plans, but there's a huge buzz around him, let's get 15 million. Let's get 20 million, like our rivals do for these really exciting young players. But you've got to strike while the iron is hot. That isn't a disservice to Man United. It's what's needed. This last week, we have seen some things, and this is where I will side with some United fans. I'm not a fan of the ticket hikes, that the prices that have gone up with the tickets. I think that's wrong. I think it's something that shouldn't have happened. I disagree with that volume. I believe the prices should and can go up. Fans, we have to pay up, especially if you're a fan who funded the Glazers. If you're a person who put money into the club when the Glazers were bleeding it dry, I think you have a responsibility to help pay to get out of the hole that you created by funding the leeches. I put myself into that category, and I will start putting money back into Man United as soon as I see or hear evidence there's a plan to completely buy the Glazers out. But I took my money away 6 or 7 years ago now and haven't personally put any in again since, because I don't believe in funding the owners who only want to make money out of us. My personal belief, you don't have to believe in it. I'm not saying I'm a better or a worse fan than you. That isn't what the argument is. I've read the stories about them cutting the Christmas vouchers from 100 to 40 pounds. Again, I think to myself, I'm not massively comfortable with that. I tweeted about them being ruthless yesterday, then that news came out. Not a big fan of it. However, do I think it's something I'm going to focus overly on? No. The cancelling of the Christmas party, am I worried about it? No. And maybe this is because of my own working background, running my own businesses. Man United are in trouble. And I understand the argument. Well, you've spent £5 million getting Ashworth. It hasn't worked. You've sacked him. Now you're going to spend more money bringing somebody else in. Why can't there be a Christmas party? Because business doesn't work in that way. Whether people like it or not, any company the size of Man United or bigger, in fact, multiple companies, including my own, every department has its own budget. And just because one department has a failure or a problem doesn't mean the other doesn't mean you're going to rob Peter to pay Paul. Because Dan Ashworth has failed, it doesn't mean, well, do you know what, we'll waste money or spend money we haven't got in a separate department. The Glazers wasted and hemorrhaged so much money at Man United over 11 years. That is why we are in this situation. There are going to be decisions by our owners are not going to sit nicely with us. I don't like the ticket increase. I don't like the vouchers being taken away. I'm not overly opposed to the redundancies. I know it sounds harsh, unless somebody can show me evidence. So before anyone calls me any names, show me the evidence that those jobs were essential, that they were producing and making the club money or saving the club money. If you can show me one of those two things, I will change my stance entirely. But for me, I believe they have reduced the workforce because it simply wasn't needed. I've heard people say, well, Terry, they're trying to get government funding to rejuvenate the area, not the stadium, but they're doing that by saying it will create jobs. How can they be promoting the creation of jobs whilst making people redundant? And it's because those two things are not mutually exclusive of one another. Man United Football Club, as of now, needed to cut jobs because of the overspending, the debts that have been placed upon the football club, the lack of success that has been generated in the last 11 years that we are all in one way, shape or form accountable for. And I funded that for many, many years as well. I am partly responsible. That is different from getting the area rejuvenated and getting billions of pounds of investment from the south of the country into the north of the country. And then the building projects and then the businesses that are created that, by the way, Man United won't own, will then employ more people. At that point as well, hopefully Man United are more successful on the pitch, generating more income. We have reduced debts. And remember, debts have to be reduced by the income of the football club, not by the billionaires themselves. If the debts are just paid off by the club, it doesn't help us from a PSR or financial fair play situation. You cannot offset that investment. But by the time the new stadium is built, maybe we're in a position where we start increasing the employment and hiring more people and giving out better benefits when the club's in a financial situation to do it. But the way they are operating is like every single major business out there. Every department will have its own budget. In fact, small and medium-sized businesses have it. YouTubers have it. I'm going to say this to any YouTuber moaning. You have a budget for how much you can pay a thumbnail designer. You have a budget for how much you can pay an editor. You have a budget for how much you pay your guests. And if suddenly your income was decreased or you suddenly wasn't making as much money, you would have to go, do you know what, thumbnail designer, I'm going to do it myself now. I can't afford to pay you. There is no, even though you're still making your own money making your own salary, but you've got your own family things to take care of. Now, on a business scale, Sir Jim doesn't need money from Manchester United. However, the club has got to have departmental budgets. It's as simple as that. Now, I understand that not every decision they make is going to sit right with everybody. We all have different views, different morals, and different understandings. I don't personally like that people have lost their jobs, but I understand it. What I would say to a lot of Man United fans, though, is what did you expect? The club was running to the ground, was falling apart. Do not be suckered in by the moral posturing of these journalists. Do not be suckered in by the kind of ivory towers that rivals are sitting on. Because where were all these people for years when the Glazers were allowing the club to rot, when they were stealing out of the club billions of pounds, when they were lumbering us with debt, when they were where were all these voices when for 8 years the club was being managed and run day to day by an accountant making footballing decisions? Where were all these people? Where was their moral posturing? Where was the bloody, if they ain't careful, loads of people are going to end up losing their jobs because the business is going to run out of money? Where was everybody then? What they were doing is they were telling us to not be angry with the Glazers because they spent money on players. Look at your wage bill. How can you be angry? That is what they all said. So please, I implore you, you don't have to love INEOS. You don't have to think that INEOS are the greatest thing since sliced bread. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But don't be suckered into this weird pseudo-moralistic stance that everybody seems to be taking. Because if any other giant club, giant organisation was in the financial hole Man United are in, with the restraints that PSR puts against owners, there would have to be cutbacks. There would have to be elements that are not nice. And by the way, how many other clubs are doing this and there's zero attention on them? And I will also say this, for everybody that's taking this moral stance, maybe that's how you view the world, fair enough, fair play to you. But if Man United over the next 2 to 3 years start to score more goals, win more games, win more trophies, become more competitive, I guarantee you, I absolutely bet, I'll put my bottom dollar on it, that all this noise goes away. All this frustration goes away. Have you noticed how there's no more negative stories about Clearlake and Todd Bowley because they're second in the league, 4 points off top? Where this time last year, the media were all over it. Going bankrupt. Going to be kicked out of Europe. Jobs being cut. Going through too many managers. They're winning on the pitch and suddenly nobody cares. Listen, I want your thoughts, I want your feelings, I want your opinions on this. I know we all may see it differently, but again, as I say, do not be suckered in by this pseudo-moralistic sort of virtue signaling bullshit from people that don't actually care and have ulterior motives. Until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and I'll see you soon.